Today I'd like to talk about how I mastered discipline to achieve my goals faster and how you can as well. So, ever wish that there was like this fast track button for achieving your goals? It turns out that discipline is the secret key. Not the kind that feels like punishment, but the kind that makes life so much easier and a lot more fun as well. So let me show you how I unlocked it. You might be asking, what was my turning point? So how did I move from I'll do it tomorrow to done and dusted, it's over with? So raise your hand if you've ever said, I'll start on Monday. Yep, me too. I've done that for so many years. I was stuck in the start-stop cycle of getting ambitious goals and never quite following through. Then I learned the powerful truth. Discipline isn't about being perfect, but it's about showing up consistently. More importantly, it's about creating systems to bring discipline to life. So here's the kicker. Research shows that it takes about 66 days on average to form a habit, according to a study that was done in 2009 by the European Journal of Social Psychology. So that's just about over 2 months to turn a behavior into something that goes into autopilot, where you're basically doing your good habit without really thinking about it. So once I embraced that timeline, I stopped beating myself up on not being an overnight success, and I started building small, sustainable habits. There are gurus out there that speak about 21 days to really make a habit stick. However, in my experience, I'm leaning more on the side of the research that was done on 66 days, because 21 days, it just never cut it. It was never enough time for me for lasting change. So if you struggle, I highly suggest giving yourself 60 to 90 days. Everyone is so different, but I've found lasting success when I gave myself more time. So this isn't a perfect science. If it takes you longer, don't stress about it. The most important thing is to not stop and to keep going. So the first step that I had taken to make it what I have today is to just make it ridiculously easy. When I decided to wake up earlier to work on my goals, I didn't leap from maybe sleeping till 6 a.m. to 4 a.m. in one fall swoop, because that's a lot. That's like really taxing on your body, isn't it? I started with just 15-minute increments each week. So research by BJ Fogg, who's the author of Tiny Habits, he suggests that, and is backing it up by his research, that small wins create momentum. So try breaking things down where if it's an earlier morning that you want to wake up to, then maybe set your alarm for 15 minutes earlier each week, and then just keep increasing it so that your body gradually gets used to it. Not saying you have to wake up at 4 a.m. like I do, but pick a time that works for you based off of your cycle and the way that you work and operate in your schedule. The next step that was successful to me was to attach habits with what I was already doing. So if they're habits that you already do, attach better ones with those. One of my favorite hacks is habit stacking. So for example, I started writing my 1 to 3 focused tasks for the next day by doing that while I was getting dinner ready for my family. Pairing a new habit with an existing one is a game changer because it makes the process seamless. James Clear, who's the author of Atomic Habits, calls this I think it's the Diderot effect, if I'm saying that right. It's basically how habits naturally link to each other. So the data doesn't lie either. So do you want to know why this works? It's because your brain loves patterns. Studies show that disciplined individuals are 10 times Yeah, you heard that right. 10 times more likely to achieve their goals than those who solely rely on motivation. Motivation really doesn't work. It's like that flaky friend that never shows up when you really need them. And why is that? It's because motivation is fleeting, but discipline is dependable. Thank you, the University of Chicago research. So here's a fun fact for you. According to the American Psychological Association, 27% of New Year's resolutions fail within the first week. So I know we're past that first week in January by far, but have you failed in the first week? Are you still on track with the New Year's resolutions that you set for yourself? But those individuals who track their progress, so I always recommend tracking in a lot of my videos, it helps you to stay more disciplined. And you're 42% more likely to achieve your goals. So yes, I am obsessed with trackers and with planners. I've also built my life into my calendar. I'm strategically spending my time in a way that allows for me to accomplish the top 1 to 3 things that I need to get done in a day. And it also fits in all of the other busy work that comes attached, right? Because we never get away from those fires that are going on with our work and our family. So what I found is when you don't schedule time for all the things that are important, time can get away on you so fast. And then we're sitting there thinking, where did the day go and why didn't I get anything done? Sound familiar? Are you with me? It happens. It happens. Even today, when I'm not disciplined, that's when I know. So I'm a strong advocate for this because I can easily get caught up in too many other things that are time wasters. This is also an easy way for you to track your own progress without having to have a separate tracker. Whether it's your calendar on your computer, or you write it down on a piece of paper, or you have even an old school calendar, or just a hardcore planner. You can check the box on the things that you've accomplished and keep track of it. At the end of the week, take a look back and see where maybe you might need to make adjustments or tweak some things for next week. Especially if it's, time management. Maybe adjust your times a little bit more, or if you're doing some time blocking to really do some focused work, figure out maybe you don't need as much time as you're allowing yourself, or maybe you need more. So it's a work in progress. However, taking a few minutes to do this, it's so worth it. So I want to win, don't you? And when it comes down to these time wasters, I've had to decide, who do I want in my circle? When it comes to discipline, I have found that this is a big one. There were too many people in my life that were sucking my time for nonsense and complaining who really didn't support me. They're great people, don't get me wrong. And they're so fun to talk to, but I found myself spiraling down this negative path and complaining rather than talking about ideas and things I wanted to do and taking accountability for myself, for my actions, and for my own goals. And when you hang out with these time vampires, you will lose your discipline. I promise. It's happened to me each and every time. So I'm not doing that anymore. You can probably, it doesn't take a lot to identify who those people are. I know that you know who they are. And sometimes it's really hard to put them to the side. Not that you have to get them out of your life completely, but you have to reduce your time with them, because I definitely had to. The more that I incorporated them in my life, the more anxiety, stress, strain that I had, and also the less focused I was on getting where I really wanted to be. I've learned to say no a lot lately. If it's not something that's moving me forward or something that I'm really interested in, it's a hard no. I had to take my emotions out of it and the worry about hurting someone's feelings. It's not that I don't care or I'm not a caring person, but I need to do a better job personally of protecting my time. So I find ways to say no in a nice way, or a way that I hope this other person is more understanding of just where I'm at right now. So a step that I've recently just started incorporating in my life is celebrating the small wins. So I talk a lot about this, but I don't think I've done a great job of it. And it took me a really long time to get right because I just couldn't figure it out. I was like, just hit your goal. You check the box, like you feel good about that. But sometimes you just need a little something because we're all working so hard, whether it's, professionally or with our families or, our goals or things we're doing on the side. And we just get caught in that mental rat race. So it did take me a little while to really get this right where I needed it to be. But when I hit a mini milestone, like sticking to my morning routine for a week or, just scheduling on my calendar the things that I needed to do in the day the night before, I treat myself with something that I love. Rewarding yourself reinforces the habit and it makes it something to look forward to. It's almost like when you're going on vacation. Don't you look forward to it? And then when it's over, it's kind of like a bummer because it's over. And you feel like I have nothing to look forward to. So give yourself some things to look forward to. And it really does help. Even if it's like these small little things, it really helps. And science agrees. Dopamine, that pesky feel-good hormone, it spikes when you celebrate progress. So take time to cheer yourself on. Seriously. So what does discipline look like for me today? So fast forward to now, I've been on this discipline journey for many, many years. And, the waking up early, that was fairly easy for me because I was just an early person anyway. So for some of you, that might be a harder, thing to really accomplish. So I get that. But there's other things that my discipline is really strained, especially on food. I needed to adjust my diet to a diet that was, more focused on meats and proteins and less on carbohydrates, but I still have those cravings. And the rest of my family is not on the same path with my diet plan. So I have those things in the house and it's a real trigger for me. So it's a struggle. I think discipline is something we get to a point that it's, on track and progress. And that's where I've really gotten to with a lot of different things that I don't even think about anymore. When I wake up in the morning, I go down and I crush it in the gym, in my basement gym that I have. With my eating and my food, I just do it. I just don't even think about it. Unless somebody's eating something that I really loved in the past that I can no longer have, and then I think about it. So there is a weakness that I still have. I'm not made of steel. So when I fast forward to now, discipline, it feels less like a chore and more like a superpower. Whether it's sticking to my fitness, running my business, writing newsletters, or creating these videos, discipline has made everything faster and easier. I'm not superhuman. I have 24 hours in the day just like all of you, but I just figured out a system that works for me. If you create a system for yourself, you can win the battle easily. It's more about the system than it is your goals, believe it or not. Even though we're so focused on our goals, we know the things that we need to accomplish, you need to figure out the system, especially to have the life that you love. If you want some downtime, time with your family, time with your kids, time with your spouse, the ability to get your work done in a concise amount of time, it all comes down to the system. That's at least what I found. So what's your challenge? My challenge to you is start small but win big. Ready to give it a shot? So pick one small habit to work on this week. It could be as simple as drinking more water or drinking a glass of water right when you wake up in the morning or writing for 5 minutes a day. Remember, consistency beats intensity each and every time. So let's build the kind of discipline that feels good, gets results, and gives us the lives that we want. You've got this, I know it. So let me know in the comments, what's one habit that you're working on right now, today, not tomorrow, but today? I'd love to cheer you on. So if you found this content valuable, please consider sharing, please consider subscribing, and we'll see you all in the next video.